Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Artists of Color. I am Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host this afternoon. And I want to say we have got an interesting show. I'm going to begin by introducing my artists. They came to me through a friend, and I am very intrigued by what they do and their music. I want to begin with the vocalist part of the group called UgoBoy.
How y'all doing today?
That's he's great. And the second young man to my right is Chief.
How you guys doing today?
And we have Malik next to him.
How's it going?
And I want to say, guys, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I'm really excited for the show because you guys are new to me and this type of art. I mean, I've heard of Afro Beats. Yes, I spilled the beans. I've heard about Afro Beats, but to really know what that type of music is really about, I kind of had to find UgoBoy here. And he and I had this conversation, which was absolutely phenomenal. I learned so much. So I'm going to switch it around. I'm going to begin with, each of you can answer this question. How did you all find each other?
God, honestly. I met Chief in the church, and
That's right.
I've known Malik since we were freshmen in high school. We went to Catholic high school together, so I can honestly say God brought me to these guys for sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you as well. I suppose you're going to tell me the same thing.
So it's about the same. Definitely God. Me and Ugo were actually altar servers.
Oh my goodness. That's really good.
We were altar servers when we were very small. You know, faith has been a very big part of both of our families growing up, and that kind of meshed us together. And the church community that we grew up in was a very heavily influenced Nigerian community. So we were brought together in that space. And then my good brother here, Malik, it's more so hearsay. I went to a Catholic private school as well. And I knew a lot of people at his school, and every time we would come in conversation, his name would get thrown in the mix somehow, just about the kind of individual he is and his character, you know. So after a while, we kind of came together, and it's been pretty solid since.
Okay. And what is your count on how you all got together?
Well, I mean, like you said, the grace of God. You know, Ugo and I met, 14 years old, freshman year at Catholic high school.
Ooh.
You know, we've been locked in ever since, with different endeavors.
A good thing.
Yeah.
What was it like going to Catholic school? I went to an Episcopal school, that's why I'm asking.
It was a transition for me. I was coming from a public school system, so there was a lot of learning. It was a huge learning curve, but definitely worth it, in the long run. I met my brother here.
There you go.
We share a lot of experiences with Peter as well, so it was cool.
All right. I like the mesh and how you all come together. And the most important thing to me is that the Creator is in your center. And that, to me, is the most important thing.
Always.
I agree. Now, let's come fast forward to now. And I want to ask you, how did music come into your lives? Okay, UgoBoy, tell me.
In regards to me individually or
You
collectively?
individually as you got together, and then how you guys collectively came together.
Music was something that was brought to me also by God because I started in the choir. But as I got older and fast forward to, like you said, today, it was probably in college when I had more time on my hands. I spent, a good portion of my life between birth and university, chasing hoop dreams. So I got to college and things kind of changed, and now I have a world of time to tap into other interests that I actually did enjoy. And, I ventured into music. I started off rapping, and I was just figuring myself out, tapping into the music that I listened to, that I loved, and within that process, I grew closer to myself and found a way to express myself in, ways that could be relatable to, people in many places, so with music is just expression, being able to
Which it
express
is.
myself, whether
Yeah.
I've always been an artist, even before the music. I used to paint, draw, do sculpture, things like that. So like, I was in theater, so music is just another palette of expression for me. But for me, it's the most important. I love it to death. So yeah.
I just found out a few things he didn't know. I didn't know about the painting part, the being in theater part. Didn't know that, you know. But that's okay. There's always something new when you get on a set.
Absolutely.
There you go. And Chief, tell me, how did you get into music?
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
I always used to just love like the sense of melody and just understanding how like
me.
notes, you know what I mean? How notes come
Yes,
together
come
and just
together.
bring a certain harmony to you. Apart from that, you know, my mother was in the choir, very vocal. So sometimes, often, she would bring praise and worship to the house. You know what I mean? So it's like
Okay.
you can't really get
You
get
can't hide
away
from
from
that.
it. You know, you can't get away
You
from it.
can't hide
You
from that,
can't.
not at all.
You can't get away from it. But truthfully, though, you embrace it a lot because, you know, when you're a religious individual and you grew up in a religious household, you start to hear these things and you start to understand them. And even if you don't understand them, a lot of times praise just touches your spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And after kind of getting to a point where I started realizing what that meant to me, I started to tap in a little bit more. But I never really see myself as a musician, so I started writing poetry.
You're a poet? Uh-oh. We're gonna talk about that some more. He's
So-
a poet.
So I started writing poetry, you know, I started drawing as well. I started to, you know, release more creative forms for myself. And as I got older and I started to see a lot of my friends and like people that I care about kind of dive into it, I started to want to be more involved, you know what I mean? I think that I'm very musically inclined. I think I have a very sharp ear, listening for certain tones. And I think that in terms of being able to provide feedback, I have a great sense of like discernment in that space.
For sure.
So so I just wanted to try to make sure that I was able to influence the way I want to. And I also, like I said, I just love music. I love the harmony. I love the vibes. Like, I love to dance as well. So I just like what it does to me, you know.
Do you, I was listening to how you say you like music. Do you write?
So, like I said, I definitely am a poet. So I have a journal full of,
But do you write music?
do I write music? No, I don't write music.
But you write poetry.
I do write poetry. I do write poetry.
We're going to work on that one through the show here.
Maybe.
We just might do that.
Right.
Oh,
So I fell into music just through Ugo here. You know, when he took on the career as a musician, you know, I always had interest in entrepreneurship and, you know, just the managerial and business side of the music industry. So as he navigated the industry, I took it upon myself to try to, you know, follow behind and learn with him as he goes and kind of protect my friend, you know, from a lot of the, I would say, powers and influences.
that influences that,
Yeah.
that can take away from one's
Purity.
purity, one's music, one's art prowess. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So I understand that, and that's a good thing. It's good to have a friend like that,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah.
Do you compose?
I mean, I play the saxophone from here.
You do?
I do. I have an alto saxophone, and but not much
You can
anymore.
tell me that.
Hats. Many
Many
hats.
hats.
Oh, yes, that's right. I've been heard about the hats.
Yeah.
Wow. You have, do you play professionally
I
at
do not play
times?
professionally. I would like to think I'm a professional, but not as good as my friend here.
Oh my God.
More of a therapeutic thing.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's beautiful. That is really beautiful. Again, I'm going to put a question out, and I want all of you to answer. You came together. You have a label.
Yes.
Explain how the label came to be. And again, you must tell me the name of the label because I forgot.
Okay. The name of the label is Flourish Forever Group.
Okay.
2017, Malik and I, we were making rap music at the time, but we felt like we had to brand ourselves with a lifestyle, you know, so the concept Flourish really for us is the idea of like pouring pure energy into the universe the same way a florist would like water a plant, you know, so from the music, our output, you know, within the community, we wanted it to be as pure as possible, as genuine as possible. So the concept of flourishing forever was something that like we felt like that not only was a brand but a lifestyle, but something that we wanted to attach to whatever we were doing, whether it was music, movies, things of that sort. So that's really where that name came from. And you know, just like Malik said, we wanted to create an ecosystem and infrastructure to not only protect ourselves but leverage ourselves to be in a position where we're going up, you know, not against, but we have opportunities to be in the face of big corporations that, you know, we can handle it on our own, you know, so.
Very good, very good. I like that name, Flourish Forever.
Thank you.
Yeah, it makes you feel serene, calm, and I like it. Does your music, from what I've heard, but I'm gonna ask you guys, does your music empower what the label is about?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. I think the music, not only for myself, but other artists within the organization, they come from the purest form. I don't think any of the artists that we're working with come from a place of, it not being genuine. So the emotions, whether sometimes things could be said, but I think as an artist, you're supposed to express yourself in ways that people can relate to, whether it's happy, sad, in a good mood, and sometimes in a bad mood.
Angry, yep.
Music is an outlet, you know,
Yes, it is.
and it's also a space for storytellers to tell what's going on from their lens, you know. So I very much still do think so, that not only myself, but the other artists, Uche, Malik, and Cassio, they make quality
That's right,
music.
you have other artists.
Oh yeah, superstar artists for sure.
How many
Superstars.
artists do you have under your name?
I want to say under my name, because I think
I
that
should say under your label.
we work together. There's three artists, 2 DJs. You know, I have these 2 wonderful gentlemen here doing management work, and Bintu as well. So, you know, the team is loaded, you know, with superstars. It's not just me.
That is great.
Yeah,
Where are you stationed? Where are you? Where's your home office? Your recording studio? All of that. Do you have a recording studio? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Where are you guys based?
Well, it's based on location, but Brockton and Malden and Medford, right? Medford's the Oak Grove. Yeah, so we're at Oak Grove.
That's small. That's
Yep.
Oak
So we're
Grove,
at
that's
Sound Lab
Malden.
and Oak Grove. That's the home base, you know. So whichever's convenient for me at the.
So you have two areas in which you can
Yes.
go and perform, bring, you know, do some new stuff.
Right.
Okay.
And aside from distinct locations that I go to, I have the equipment myself, so I do it from home as well too. A lot of the songs were
All right.
done from a home space. Like the songs that I sent you,
Yes.
those weren't recorded in the studio. Those were done.
Those were done from home.
Apartment recordings.
I kind of heard a little bit of something there in the background.
I'm gonna call my engineer. I need that remix.
I said, okay.
She said she heard it. No, we gotta bring it back.
I heard it. I'm sorry. I heard it.
Remove the dog from the background.
Right.
Yes. I heard it. I definitely did. But that's okay because that was a beautiful thing. It's raw. I have a friend of mine who's always saying, it should be raw. You know. Where have you guys performed at?
In the U.S.
I want to say, we can say the U.S., but we also can say within the Massachusetts community.
Okay. We can start there. House of Blues.
What?
MGM Grand. Big Night Live. Brighton Music Hall. Sinclair.
Now, I know about MGM, because that's new. But there was one before that.
House of Blues.
House of Blues?
Yeah.
They've been around a minute. Really?
Yes.
Oh. Jesus.
I
I'm
didn't say it like that.
I'm sitting in the middle of royalty.
Oh yeah.
No.
What else can I tell you? My young princes are more fabulous than I knew. But that's okay, because that's a good thing.
That's right.
That's a good thing. So now, let's say within the outer Massachusetts area, where have you performed outside of Massachusetts?
We performed at the Strand in Providence. We performed at the Budweiser Stadium in Toronto.
New York.
New York. We have a few. Where was the I did a college campus tour in Nigeria with CK.
Really?
Yeah, so we
Oh,
hit a few different cities during that tour. That was pretty cool as well. So.
yeah. Well, you know what? I think we're going to listen to a little bit of your music, and we can kind of like talk about this. So we're going to just listen, and maybe we can talk as we go along. I might ask you questions, but I want people, my audience, my television audience, to hear UgoBoy and their amazing work. Absolutely, it's so beautiful. So that should be coming up momentarily.
I'm excited.
But yeah, it's like, here we go.
It just makes you want to move, right?
I know, this is it. Now, what is the name of this?
Enjoyment.
Enjoyment. I like enjoyment. Thank you very much. I like enjoyment. It's really, yeah.
It makes you want to either move your shoulders or just move your head.
Just move your head. I can move everything. What made you do? Okay, what brought that piece out? Yes.
Yeah, so I recorded a song in January. I'll say this, like in Nigeria or in Africa in general, the winter season is kind of a festive time of year.
Is.
Like December period, New Year's, that's like summertime almost in Africa. So that's where I was in Nigeria when I wrote the record, when I recorded it, and it was just like the energy that I was feeling during that time period. I feel like not a lot of people get to experience it.
Yes.
So I figured with this 3 minutes that I had, let's capture it, put it into a capsule, and allow it to be liquidated in spaces that it's not only in Nigeria, and you can feel like kind of that energy that you just want to move, you want to bounce.
There you go.
That's like Nigeria all December through January. It's just lively. People are just like happy. It doesn't matter how much money you have. People are just happy at that time. So this song, this record for me was just like, how do I pull these frequencies together? How do I create the type of music that I want to listen to during that time period, you know? So, yeah.
Were these guys with you when you did that?
Unfortunately, no, they were not. They were not.
You all were here back in the States. You let him go by himself?
Hey man, he definitely had to. I would say that we didn't let him go by himself.
No,
He
it
just
wasn't
went.
like that. No, it wasn't
It's
even
not
that.
even.
We were
Yeah.
they were chaperoning from a distance. I spoke to them
There you
every single
go.
day of the trip through, the whole time through. There wasn't a day that I didn't talk to these guys.
And that's
so.
a good thing. I like that.
I think
The
it's important.
cohesiveness.
Say it again?
I was saying, I think it's important to point out you had your team in Nigeria as
Oh
well.
my goodness, yeah.
Oh, okay.
you know,
So
in
you
the
had a
major
team there too.
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to like coordinate with like-minded individuals like these guys that believed in the vision, you know, that were willing to step in. So I can't take full credit for, you know, some of these things that you see. I just think I'm a byproduct of God's grace, but definitely met some people in Nigeria that believed in me as well, where like guys like Chief and Malik, you know, buy into what we're doing and help push things forward even in moments where it's like, how is it possible? How are we gonna do this? Yeah. So
From what you do in your music and your recording, how are you sponsored? Do you have sponsorships to keep you going? Or do you
I have
just
support. I have support.
you support?
I have support.
You have support?
Yeah.
All of you?
Correct. So we definitely are open to sponsorships. There are a number of individuals that we know
Okay.
from childhood also that have kind of decided to put their hands in the pot to make sure that
You
we get a little
continue.
bit. We get not even just continue, show that the support is there for what's
Very
being
good.
done.
That's what I want to
You
hear.
know what I mean? We're very community based. I know that Ugo mentioned how Flourish Forever Group was meant to, you know, create the space to protect individuals, but it's also a sense of thriving. You know,
Okay.
we want to create
Yes.
we want to create a world where we can take our Afrocentric ecosystem and turn it up a million. You know what I mean? But not just for us, but for everybody,
Everybody.
who wants to come out and show that they have something going on. You know what I mean? So we definitely have support. We're running shows to make sure that everybody gets fed the way they need to get fed.
I like
You know what I
that.
mean?
As a friend of mine would say, brother gotta eat.
Exactly,
Tell
exactly.
the truth.
So growth is the goal, and we're just continuing to work towards that.
Okay. What do you want to see for your future?
Ugo?
Oh, for my
All of
future,
you.
I,
Yeah.
I want to see my guys win just as much as I want to win. I'll start by that. So the idea of succeeding or being the best artist or reaching a level of, I think that's all in God's plan. But I want to do it with my guys. You know, if
Okay.
like,
But he's part. They are part of God's
oh
plan.
yeah, for sure. So
You wouldn't
know,
have them if it wasn't for God's plan.
exactly.
Now,
You
the
know,
Creator said, "Hey, you and you." So that's, and your thoughts.
It's the same. Definitely want to see all of my people thrive, and I want to make sure that we're in a space where we can not only thrive but continue to do it for other people. You know what I mean? I'm very big on mentorship.
You are.
I don't. So I'm the youngest out of my family.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean?
How
But
many of you are there?
I have 2 older sisters.
Sisters?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So you know.
I feel for you, honey.
I have 4.
I feel for you.
I hope that.
Oh, I really feel for you.
I hope that they pay attention to you saying. But
feel
yeah, I
for
just
you.
want to make sure everybody thrives. I know that, you know, the pinnacle to success is lending a hand and making sure that the hand is genuine.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that we all get to that point. I want to make sure that I can deliver that aspect to the people the way I want to deliver it to them. And I also want to make sure that we just continue to live and thrive and flourish in the worlds that we want to. We all have dreams. We're gonna
Oh,
achieve
yeah,
them.
we do. We all
you know?
have dreams.
Yeah.
And you, Malik?
So for me, I really just want to see these guys use their artistry to be able to take care of their families and, you know, everything else they want to do within their life. I think all 3 of them are talented enough, you know, that they'll be able to, you know, use their skills and just their discipline and their focus to inspire the next generation while creating opportunities for themselves. That's really all I want to see them do is just, you know, keep striving and create a lane for others in the city as well.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask a question I've never, ever asked a guest on my show. What do you want to see by being on my show today? What do you want to see because you're here? What do you want to see come from that?
I think for me, again, like Chief said, the sense of community and representation as well. So in our community, in the Boston community, there's a lot of people, not just of African not just of African descent, but it's Caribbean descent.
Yeah.
There's many like palettes and faces of people of color in
Thank you.
this city, and sometimes it's almost insulting when you hear people from outside of Boston talk about there's black people in Boston. I feel like
I know.
you know, so I just really want
I
to, you know,
do know.
with the space to just create opportunities for the representation to show on a consistent basis.
Okay, when we started our session here today, and you saw the intro for the show, there was a woman there, big woman, afro, glasses. Her name is Catherine T. Morris. I'm going to hook y'all up with her. You all need to meet her.
Okay.
Her mission is exactly what you said. If you've ever heard of a program, organization called Boston Arts Music and Soul Festival, they are now Boston Arts Music Soul Festival. They are now taking applications for artists for BAM's 2024. You guys need to be in touch with her.
For sure.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I've known her for a number of years, and we talk about the community and people thinking there are no black people in Boston. Of course, they're wrong, but that is her mission. That is her mission, and I think that that's where I'd like to see you guys in contact with her.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh,
I appreciate
absolutely.
that.
Thank you so much.
You know, absolutely. So being out here in the community, we are going to take a break. And when we take that break, we're going to come back to the community, and they're going to love us.
Of course.
Of course, they always do.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, I get people who stop me in the street. So we're going for a break, and we will be back shortly. But I like...
what's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes, as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
As a scientist, I know by the time she takes her first breath, 9 billion more tons of carbon pollution will be in the air. When she takes her first steps, wildfires will have burned millions more acres she could have explored. By the time a child born today goes to college, it may be too late to leave them the world we promised. Our window to act on climate change is like watching them grow up. We blink and we miss it.
We're back. Welcome to Artists of Color. I am your host, Elaine Hall-Corbin, and we've been having a great conversation here. This is UgoBoy.
Yes, y'all.
This is Chief, and that's MALIQUE. And we have been having the greatest conversation ever because it's about camaraderie, brotherhood, doing it all together, being able to want to move forward and bringing others with you. That's what I'm getting out of this conversation. And my next piece is this. Explain to me the history of Afro Beats.
So, Afro Beat was founded by an astounding individual by the name of Fela Kuti back in the 70s. When he made this music, it came at a time when Nigeria was experiencing a lot. So I think for those that aren't familiar with the sound, you could associate some of his work to like Bob Marley in regards to him using his voice to impact the community, the culture, and kind of stand up against the powers that be.
Right.
And, you know, just similar to Bob Marley, the powers that be worked, you know, against him.
That we're working against.
But his legacy lived on and the sound evolved into today. And where Afrobeats is now, you can kind of look at it as an umbrella, in my opinion, or a coconut tree that sits over a bunch of different sounds, hip hop, rap, R&B, pop, all these genres that these Afrobeat artists make music to. They're really making pop records, rap records, house records, but it's Afro. They're the culture, the way that they communicate, the vernaculars, the sounds that most of these creatives like grew up listening to is influenced by high life, soukous, like different types of music that, you know, that
What
way.
is soukous?
That's like that's like Cape Verdean music almost.
Yeah, it's like
I've
a
never heard it
combination
before.
between like Creole music and like French music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Never heard the term.
it's a very like, I don't know how to explain like souk or soukous like very well, or soukous because souk is different. I don't know how to explain soukous very well, but
Okay.
it's like, I would say if you listen to Afro beats,
Yes.
soukous is like the most energized version of Afro beats. Like everything is up tempo. Everything, like you don't have one calm moment in soukous. It's
Oh.
very, that one will call for your body to move.
Okay,
For certain.
good. That's all I wanted to
certain.
know.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I wanted to know. Because I knew you and I had this conversation
Yeah.
about Afro beats, because I'd kind of heard it, the term before, but I never knew what it, you know, what the history was behind it. So I wanted to, and you do Afro beats.
For sure.
You guys are Afrobeat artists. How do you find when you perform? I mean, I know it makes everybody move. I got that part already. But how do you find people expressing to you how they feel about your music? your genre of music. I mean, Afro Beats. I'm sure not everybody's heard of Afro Beats. I know I hadn't.
Right.
So tell me, what do you find, what do you get from people when they ask you?
I would say typically, I feel like now, depending on what generation we're looking at, a lot of people understand what Afro Beats is, or they have some general concept of the kind of music that we promote.
Okay.
But in retrospect, I feel like when we perform, that's when people really feel it the most. Okay. Because at that moment, we're able to give them a little bit of an explanation before we go into the performance.
Oh,
some people
you
will hear
do
them.
that. Okay.
Yeah, nah, Ugo is very good. Actually, all of our artists are really good with articulating the music and how they want the crowd to receive it before they receive it. You know what I mean? That way you get more of an in-depth feeling of what's being presented to you.
Okay, that is a beautiful thing.
But Afro Beats, I feel like a lot of people receive Afro Beats from the beat in itself. You know what I mean? That's the core of it all.
At all.
So once you get the beat and the rhythm, that's going to help you decide whether or not you're going to get drawn into it. And then from there, it might take a little bit of time to digest the words. Yep. Because in sometimes, most cases, for example, we speak what we call pidgin. Pidgin is just broken English, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Right, so Jamaicans might have like patois or, you know what I mean? Or some people have gibberish.
Gibberish,
you know what I mean? So it's,
I do.
So I feel like that's probably where there is somewhat of a disconnect sometimes, because you have to really take a little bit more time to be invested in the culture and what we're saying to like really absorb it. But the energy is there, and you can't really deny good energy.
No, you can't.
You know what I mean?
You seriously cannot. My question to all of you, because I've been meaning to ask this, is your heritage from out of the country, African heritage? Are you all from Nigeria?
No, not all of us.
I'm not Nigerian. My mother was born in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, so
Kingston, Jamaica?
Yes.
Okay. I know about you already.
Yeah.
I'm Nigerian as well.
You're Nigerian as
Yes.
well? Oh, wow. I like that. I like that. That is beautiful. See, this is it. This is why I do what I do. I want to be able to bring the culture to the community. We don't know our culture. It's been taken away from us so long ago that it might take us so long more in order to get it back.
Right.
Okay? So that made me want to have more of the culture added to my show. I wanted to be able to bring, as my girl Kat would say, black and brown voices to the stage, which is what Boston Arts Music Soul Festival is about.
No, it's truly an
Bringing
honor.
black and brown voices to the stage, to the center. Let the community know who we are.
Right.
Through our music, through our spoken word.
Yep.
And that to me is an important, very important thing. So what's the future? Tell me, what are we doing? What's the future? Where are we standing?
Eugene, go ahead.
More music, more merch, more creative spaces for people to feel comfortable and enjoy themselves, Yeah, just a lot of more representation again through the music, the sound, the visual, like being able to absorb music through 5 senses. There's gonna be more opportunities of that from the organization.
From the organization.
Yeah.
Are you accepting, that's right, are you accepting more artists to the mix?
I'm open to it. I can't say I'm looking for it, but I'm open to it.
But you're open to it?
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
For sure.
I asked him this question. I said, yep, I want to know. Which is a good thing, which is a very good thing.
Yeah.
When I ask about the future and what you're pushing forward, have you guys produced CDs, records, any of that nature?
Yeah, for sure.
You have?
Yeah.
Did you bring me one?
No, I didn't bring a physical copy.
Okay.
I did not. I'm sorry.
That's all
You
right.
set me up
You
with
know
that
how I
question.
feel about that.
I'll make it up to you.
I know
I'll
you
be sure
will.
of that.
We gotta get her set up on Apple or Spotify.
Yeah.
You know,
She
I've
said
been
she
always
wants
trying to
the
figure out how to do that.
She wants the
Physical CD.
physical. We'll get the CD.
Yeah,
We'll
no,
get the
we'll
CD.
get the CD. We'll make it
Yeah,
happen.
we get the physical.
We'll give you the limited edition print too.
Yep.
There you go.
You know.
Now, you know, I want to go back to something we started earlier when we started our conversation, and we talked about your faith and being brought up in that religious, you know, that religious home, that religious even camaraderie. Do you find that affecting how you produce your, you know, your songs, your music? I like it because I don't hear it, but I hear what I hear, which is a good thing, because the fact that so many of our artists today, young artists, are not, like, their music may be good, but there's that negativity.
Right.
Whereas with you guys and what I've heard, I don't hear that. So I want to know what keeps you grounded in when you're bringing your music to the forefront.
To be honest, that's part of the reason why I even started doing Afro Beats. As an artist, when I came into the music industry doing rap and hip hop, I didn't really understand what I knew now, and I felt a lot of pressure to tap into certain elements of who I was rather than opening it up to who I fully was. And I felt limited, you know, to some of these negative influences, to be honest.
There you
And
go.
you know, being human, I could say, okay, these may be truths, but that's not the only truth about me. That's not all there is to say about me. So I felt like Afrobeat allowed me to tap into my full self. So like I said at the beginning of the segment, there are songs where they're happy, uplifting. We could even be talking about praising God in the song, but there's also songs that speak on like pushing through negative moments of depression or stress, or if you're battling through a breakup in a relationship, these type of truths that may be ugly, but it can be refreshing hearing someone that you listen to be able to express some of these feelings for you in a way that's not malicious.
Thank you.
You understand? Or like,
Yeah, I do.
But it's therapeutic and honest and raw, but pure at the same time.
Okay, I get that.
I'm gonna go
gonna
through.
give me a little
I'm gonna give
twist
you
on
a
that?
different element of that.
Yes, Chief. Give us a lightning.
You got the different elements. So, in terms of our faith and bringing it into the music, this journey in the music industry is not easy.
Oh, I know.
Like Malik said before, you know what I mean? You're tested and tried in a number of different manners and ways.
Yes.
There are moments where you have to check yourself and check your character and see who you are as an individual. For a lot of us, our faith is our character. It's our moral ground. You know what I mean? We're not gonna go outside and make music that negates our faith. You know what I mean? And when I say negates our faith, like, we're not promoting killing people. You know what I'm saying? We're not promoting like violence in any kind of way, or, you know, we're not promoting, I won't say karma, but you know what I mean? Like the things that people don't need to see to help individuals thrive. Everything we're doing is good vibes. Music is spiritual. You know what I mean? Like, we were all, I was talking to one of my friends, and it's so interesting to think that our altar servers from my church, for example, all ended up somewhere in the music space. And you know what I mean? And I think that just comes to our faith and us believing that anything is possible through God.
There you
know
go.
what I mean?
We have a call.
Simple.
Caller, we're waiting.
Hi.
Hi.
I love the show so far, and I would love to hear more about the marketing side of things.
Okay. Thank you, caller.
Malik?
No
Nice.
problem. Thank
The marketing side, yeah. So there's
Yeah.
been, ready?
Go,
So,
answer.
yeah,
I want to know
there's
that
been,
too.
There's been a lot of different, efforts that we've made on the marketing side, from Google Ads to, using Meta for the platform it is, on Instagram, using YouTube. We've done a ton of marketing. We've been in the field. We're creating merch right now. There's just a lot, really, to go into marketing. There's so many different avenues that we've taken and tried. Some work, some have not, but, still learning.
What do you
and
find your
growing.
strongest marketing?
Right now, I think his social media presence has been, the strongest marketing
Really?
tactic. Yes.
Okay.
He receives a lot of support, through the Instagram platform, TikTok,
All right. I would say it's pretty active. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on top of that too, just to give Ugo some more credit on his own, he's been very adamant about like being seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all know it's not easy.
You want to just be seen.
Yeah, no,
see
he
it.
definitely has to. It's not easy to try to instill influence without
Yes.
knowing the people in your community that actually do have influence.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And even you here, Miss Eileen, you've blessed us by having us on this show, and that's kind of what I mean. You know what I mean? We're trying to make ourselves known and walk into rooms where people actually are interested to see what we have going on.
There you
So
go.
being more intentional, you know, I would say that's been a very key factor in our marketing success.
Well, I am blessed to have you guys on my show. I don't usually get young men of your caliber upon my show a lot, but to get, cultural young men who are doing so much with their music, that really makes me feel really, really good, and I'm very happy. I think if my son were listening to this show, he'd probably say, took you long enough. Yeah, I can hear him now. But I do appreciate having you guys. It's wonderful. I'm hoping at some point in time shortly that we will do that other cut and we can talk about what that means and how you brought that about, because I really want to know what you do when you're putting together a piece. How does that happen? What is, how do you sit and think about it, put it together, and make it, make it an amazing piece?
I think over the course of the years, I've kind of developed a formula, but there's also a rule with music. If the vibe, the energy is not there, do not force it. That song
You know
will
what?
not,
I
the
agree with
song,
that.
it won't be anything that you want it to be. If you're trying something and it's just not
It's
clicking,
not getting there,
you just gotta step away
don't
for a
do it.
moment, so that's one of the rules. But the creative process could be like, I could be listening to a new song or an old song, or maybe watch a film, and there could be a sound that sparks an interest, and I could just be mumbling to myself, or and
He
go
sounds
into
like Nick.
just go into a little space where it's like, I think I got something. And if I'm lucky enough to have the beat ready, then we just get right into
Okay.
recording different ideas. But if not, now it's like, okay, we start from the chord, we start from the kick, the snare, like what do we want it to sound like? Sometimes I can have an idea of like what that element already is before walking into it, and then it's just printing it. And then at that point now, we create the melodies, we have a direction of what does this beat feel like? Is it light? Is it dark? Are you talking to a lady? You talking to the guys? Like what are we
Talking
talking?
to children,
You know,
yeah.
all these things. So once that is put into play, then we just allow the music to take control.
Take hold.
Yeah.
That's right, take control. Well, when you guys are in a studio, in a studio setting, does each have their personal piece that goes into the final cut?
If it's a collaborative record, like if I'm featuring a song with maybe Uche or Cassie, one of the other artists,
Okay.
then everybody will come with their
their
written
piece.
parts. But if it's like a UgoBoy record, he might hear something I came up with, or even MALIQUE, and be like, I like that, try it like this, or maybe go this direction. They do a lot of A&R work where, like he said, he's very disciplined to like hearing a lot of songs that most people may never
Not
hear.
hear.
He's heard Enjoyment since I recorded and sent it to him immediately, like, bro, I got one. I got one. So, yeah.
But now, since we're going from that point, I know you're the vocalist and all that. You're a musician too.
So
Come on here, wait a
in some
minute.
aspects, I could say I would consider myself an artist, and I say that because I do MC, I do host. So
Right.
being a hype man is very it's really just me calling out another part of my nature. I would say I'm two different people sometimes. Extremely calm and extremely high energy.
Oh, Lord,
You see
no.
him on stage.
You know what I want? Since we're talking about being calm and extremely, not you, and being extremely high energy, you're a poet.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I want you to
I knew she was gonna put me on.
give me a
spot.
piece.
I knew she was gonna put me on the spot.
Give me a piece.
What can I do? What can I do? Let me see if I can give you something
Yes.
off brain. Okay. Here we are, a day in the life. We work hard every day. We always fight. What you want is yours if you take it. And sometimes you have to wait and ask. But make sure you're always yourself. Never put on a mask. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you want to leave, I like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go for a break after that. Wow. I like that. That was really cool. Short and sweet, but straight to the point. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's been
I
a
know.
while.
You should have known that was coming.
He was prepared.
Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
My mom and dad were traditional Asian parents. Now my father would go to work before I woke up in the morning, and then he would come home too tired to play with me. I tell my son, I love you every single day. Now my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. So I teased him the other day and I said, how come you never say that to me? And he said, you're too old now. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the material things, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious minute or moment.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
As a scientist, I know by the time she takes her first breath, 9 billion more tons of carbon pollution will be in the air. When she takes her first steps, wildfires will have burned millions more acres she could have explored. By the time a child born today goes to college, it may be too late to leave them the world we promised. Our window to act on climate change is like watching them grow up. We blink and we miss it.
Welcome back to Artists of Color. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see anybody but me. But anyway, welcome back to Artists of Color. I am Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host. And these are my guests, two of my three guests today, UgoBoy and Chief. And they are going to do a piece for us. Okay, guys, take it away.
All right now.
Yeah.
I go by the name of UgoBoy, rocking with the best. I got my guy Chief with me.
Bye, guy.
We're gonna start it off with something sweet. I got this record called Palm Wine. Yeah. Try.
That.
We're gonna rock out for a little bit.
One time. One time. What you say?
She said she want my bola, so I call her, make her holla. All the way from Angola.
Gola.
She said she want my moolah, so my tama come by yola. She say I be JJ from Maradona. All these songs ain't tight, come yeah, move palm wine. On my knee, try and move something sweet and make it come back, yo. All these songs ain't tight, come yeah, move palm wine. On my knee, try and move something sweet and make it come back, yo.
What up?
Give them, oh, the coupon, yeah. See, I want to pull up on when I say something like this, right?
Get them.
Look, Onye kele Ugo.
Oh yeah, nah.
Ugo kele ya.
Hey, what you say?
Ole wanyem. Eke choro the day for via. She likes the way I ball. I don't feel vexed at all. She can't find thing I want to conquer. Even right price I fit to sponsor. Body so and tight. Come yemu pan wine. Oh money try move something sweet and make it come back yo. Body so and tight.
Yeah, what you say?
Come by and move pan wine.
Give
Oh
them.
money try move something sweet and make it come back yo.
Opa.
Yeah.
What up? UG my
But I go
Pamina.
fine now.
UG my Pamina.
Body go die now. If you know right now, can you please? But I go fine
Give
now.
them. Give them.
Onye kele Ugo.
Oh yeah, nah.
Ugo kele ya. Ole wanyem. Ike choro the day for via. Chai!
Bad guy.
Yes, nah.
Bad
You know the
guy.
vibes.
Battle.
We still get more vibes. Now this one's called Enjoyment, so we just gonna vibe. If you don't know the song, we gonna turn up for this one. Yeah. Give them.
Hey, come on, one time. What you say?
Baby, rock and move slowly. I want chop on my endomy. If you like, come and follow me. We go tire for enjoyment. Baby, be my angel. This is something I enjoy me.
Never.
I dare feel the urgency. It's your body I never see.
Whoa.
For the enjoyment.
One time.
Come, baby, enjoy.
2 times.
For the enjoyment.
Show them.
Come, baby, enjoy.
What up?
For the enjoyment.
UG.
Come, baby, enjoy.
Come on.
For the enjoyment.
UG.
Come, baby, enjoy.
What you say?
Okay, this bad dude got me feeling so high.
Shy.
Follow, come, baby, meet me outside. I get vibes when I see you can't lie. You do what you want for calm down and guzzy. And baby, what thing you want from me?
What you need?
You go chop on me, start forming. I want to come tonight only. Baby, rock and move slowly. I want chop on my endomy.
Chop on my
If
endomy.
you like, come and follow me. We go tire for enjoyment.
Oh, yeah, nah.
Baby, be my angel. This is something I enjoy me. I dare feel the urgency.
What you
This
say?
your body I never see.
What
For the enjoyment. Come, baby, enjoy.
UG, give them.
For the enjoyment.
Oh yeah, nah.
Come, baby, enjoy.
UG, give
Ooh,
them.
for the enjoyment.
Bad guy.
Come, baby, enjoy.
UG.
For the enjoyment.
Bad guy.
Come, baby, enjoy.
Butter.
Baby, be my angel. This is something I
Make when I show me
I
how you feel, now.
don't
Show me
feel
how you
the
feel.
urgency. This your body I never see.
Give them.
Baby, be my angel.
Vim
This
them.
is something I enjoy me.
Vim
I
them.
dare feel the urgency. Yeah, speedy matter. Call Odinaka. Go for the Yaza. Now for sure I go knock on. In love with the fine body. Oh my girl, become my me. You say you want cash, Abby. Oh baby, do the dance for me. Baby, rock and move slowly.
Show them.
I want chop on my endomy.
Take
If
time.
you like, come and follow me. We go tire for enjoy me. Baby, be my angel.
Come on.
This is something I enjoy me.
What up?
I dare feel the urgency. This your body I never see. Yeah, give them. Shabby with the vibe with the enter. Let's see Ugo. Bad
UG.
guy.
Bad guy.
Yeah.
UG.
Yeah.
Bad guy. UG. Chevy with the vibe with the
Baby, be
enter.
my angel. This just something I enjoy me.
Give them.
I dare feel the urgency.
Give
This
them.
your body I never see. Baby, be my angel.
Shy.
This just something I enjoy me.
One
I
time.
dare.
Chevy with the vibe with the enter.
Archie Color
see Ugo.
Boston. This is UgoBoy live and direct. Got my brother Chief in the building. Flourish Forever Group. Thank you for having us. Yes.
You see the team on my